It appears to run on some kind of electricity. Hey everyone, and welcome to May's TBR Assemble. If you don't know what TBR Assemble is, I'll leave a link up above to my original video where I explain all of the rules and essentially what's going on here. But essentially the idea is that Thanos is coming and therefore I have to collect the Avengers and also the Infinity Stones to stop him. So with that, let's get into the role.
Today's avatar is a Valkyrie because I just really wanted to use Valkyrie, to be honest, and there's no TV shows coming out, so why not use her? Roll number 1 is a 1, and for once I'm going to go around this way, so starting with fanfiction. Roll number 2 landed in there, but that was a 2, so that just means an extra roll. Roll number 3 is a 4, so that is Groot, a middle grade for 3 points.
So my first roll was Groot, which was a middle grade. So for that I'm going for Skullduggery Pleasant number 4, Dark Days. Now I can't tell you what this one's about because it's number 4 in the series. What I will say though is that this is about Skullduggery Pleasant and Valkyrie Kane. Skullduggery Pleasant is a magical skeleton detective and Valkyrie is his teenage sidekick partner kind of idea, and the two of them have to go around saving the world from various world-ending apocalypse type things. It's really good. This is part of the Dead Famous read-along, which I am a co-host for, and I am loving rereading this series again. It's so much fun and I'm just loving it, so I cannot wait to read book 4.
Roll number 3 is a 2, so I'm gonna dig deep, and that is Tony, a dystopian for 1 point.
For Tony's prompt, I need to read a dystopian, and for this I'm going to go for Rise of the Red Hand, because this is actually the Avengers Reading Challenge group book for May. Now, I basically know nothing about this further than the fact that it's a sci-fi dystopian, and I think there's a bit of steampunk in there. Don't quote me on this, I can't remember. I generally go into the group books blind, because that's just how I like to do things with the Avengers Reading Challenge, so I don't know much about it, but I am excited to give it a go.
Next roll is a 1. So, just move it along, and I'm just going to pick this one up because it's there. So, Black Panther, a diverse author for 1 point. Can you see that? Yeah.
For Black Panther, I need to read a book with a diverse author, so for this I'm going for You Will Get Through This Night by Dan Howell. Now, this is actually a self-help book, which is not my wheelhouse whatsoever. I don't do self-help whatsoever. I don't do non-fiction, to be honest, but this one I am actually reading for a couple of reasons. First one is that I am a big fan of Dan and Phil, which is actually Dan Howell, essentially. Dan Howell is one half of Dan Is Not Fire and Amazing Phil, or Dan Howell and Amazing Phil now, and I've been watching their videos since I was about 14, I think. I've literally spent the last like 10-11 years watching their videos at this point, and I do genuinely love them. Their videos got me through a lot of tough times recently, in recent years, and stuff like this. I've just followed them for such a very long time, and I do absolutely adore these two. And also because this book is actually all about depression and anxiety and how Dan sort of coped with it and how he sort of got his own sort of like coping mechanisms with these things now, and quite frankly, now that I am on antidepressants and just having a bit of a bad mental time, I'm doing better at the moment, but I could always do better. I thought it'd be a good time to read this book now as well, especially with it coming out this month, so I can't wait to read this one. It's not my usual wheelhouse, but I'm excited to give it a go, see if it helps. If not, at the very least I'll probably get some fun stories about Dan in this, so yay!
Roll 6 is a 6, so that is Wanda, an ebook for 2 points.
For Wanda's prompt, I need to read an ebook. Now for this, I'm going for Mike Carey's Lucifer, which is a spin-off from the Neil Gaiman Sandman series. This is based after Lucifer's left hell and he ends up in LA with Mazakine, and they set up Lux, the nightclub. Now, the reason why I'm specifically reading this month instead of continuing on with the Sandman or reading literally any other ebook I own is because Lucifer Series 5B is coming out this month, and I cannot wait to watch it. I love Lucifer. It's such a big comfort show for me in a lot of ways. I have been loving rewatching it recently. I'm literally working my way through all of the current seasons, so I'm ready for the next one, and I'm just so excited to actually read where the origins came from, because obviously in the TV show he's in LA, he set up Lux and everything else, but we do not actually see him set up Lux in the first place, or what he does when he first reaches LA. So that's why I'm going to read this comic, and I cannot wait, because I'm just so excited essentially to read more about Lucifer and see exactly where this TV show sort of came from essentially. I'm just really excited for it. I'm just ridiculously excited for it. I'm not gonna lie.
And then the final roll is a 3. So that is, I went for the head for 4 points.
And then I also had I Went for the Head, which is to read a book over 500 pages. And for this, I could have gone for City of Heavenly Fire, now that I've recently got the entire series in a more manageable, more holdable set of books. But instead, I'm going for Jade City, because why finish a series when I could start a new one? I'm ridiculous, but there we go. I'm on a bit of a high after finishing a couple seasons, like series, so I'm just wanting to start a new one apparently. So yes, I'm going to be reading Jade City. All I know is that this is an adult fantasy and it's over 500 pages. Just my copies are like 512 pages, so it's just over, but I'm excited to read it because I've heard so many like really good things about it. I can't remember exactly what it's about further than the fact that it's an adult fantasy, but I am excited to read it and I'm just here for it essentially. And naturally, just because that was the end of the rolls doesn't mean that was the end of everything I want to read this month. There's only a couple of other things I want to mention, but one of them is a big undertaking, so let's just get into it before I talk myself out of this. First thing I'm going to mention is Good Omens. Now, I know I've read this before, but quite frankly, A, I haven't read it in like 2 years now, and I deserve a reread because this is another comfort book for me, and B, it turns out Emma Novella, who I'll leave a link to down below, has never actually read this, and we stayed up talking until like 2 o'clock in the morning this month, in April, after the Playing with Fire live show, which I'll leave a link to up above. You should definitely go watch it. We had a great time chatting, and Emma turns up halfway through drunk, so it's a great time essentially. Go watch it. But yeah, it turns out that they've never actually read this book, and I can't have that because I push my Good Omens agenda on absolutely everybody. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm going to start again essentially, and it turns out they've never read it before, and they're a big fan of David Tennant like I am. We have very similar tastes, it turns out, in books and TV shows and films and stuff like this. So I said, let's like buddy read it together, and so we're going to buddy read it together, and I cannot wait. I'm just saying it right now though. Emma, I am apologising right now for the fangirl you're going to have to receive, because this is one of my favourite books and the TV show is also one of my favourite things of all time. So I apologise right now for spamming your DMs with my love for this book. I'm apologising right now, but hopefully you're going to enjoy it as much as I do. And then obviously I have comics to read, because I wouldn't be me if I didn't have comics. The only thing is that this does not have to do with any Disney Plus release, because there isn't one this month. And I'm really sad about it, because obviously Loki got pushed back till June, so I'm now sick. So I sat here mourning for a little while, wondering what the hell I was going to read, and so I decided to fill the hole left in my heart between Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Loki with X-Men. Because I'm me, so I filled the hole with X-Men, and by that I mean I'm going to be reading House of X, Powers of X, Dawn of X, and I know I've read House of X, Powers of X before, and Dawn of X Volume 1, but they were confusing. It was very wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, confusing. So what I'm going to do is just start back from the beginning and just read all the way through to volume 10, which is where I actually own up to at the moment. And then hopefully I can then read Empire in the future, which is the latest Marvel event to have come out. Because I'm horrendously behind on all of this, and I really don't want to be. I literally run a website dedicated to Marvel Comics. I need to catch up on this stuff, so that is the plan. I'm going to be filling the hole of no Marvel TV apart from MODOK. Got to admit, MODOK is in there. But apart from MODOK with X-Men comics, and I'm just very excited for it because I've heard so many good things. I really want to catch up. I cannot wait to get to Empire as well, and then go on to like the Hellfire Gala and everything else. It all sounds so exciting. I cannot wait, essentially. So yeah, that is the current comic book plan as well. And with that, that is the end of my May TBR. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you've read any of the books I've just mentioned. I'd love to know. I'll also leave a link down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, everyone, bye!